What are you doing, Mama?
Getting rid of the rocks and for a flower bed.
Flower bed's going in. Good morning and welcome back to the WickerShire project. Today's video is a few gardening tips and reminders when starting up a new garden. It's usually ideal to start growing indoors 8 to 6 weeks before your last frost. Then go to the 10-day weather forecast and see what the weather is going to be like before deciding whether to bring your plants outside or to direct sow. Behind me is our herb garden and flowers. The first things to come up that we noticed were chives and basil. The oregano is right behind it. I haven't seen the dill or any of the other herbs that we planted come up yet. So advice and tip number one, make sure that you water these every day. The plants, as baby seeds, do not need fertilizer right now. Everything is contained inside the seed itself. All that nutrients is packed into that seed in order for your baby plants to grow. When you should start fertilizing and getting the nitrogen into the soil is after the second set of true leaves. So you'll have the plant come up, you'll have a set of leaves come out. Those are the first set of leaves that helps the plant absorb sunlight, convert that with photosynthesis into sugars, and that will grow, and the second true leaves will grow out. And that lets you know that the plants are getting set and ready to start production on growing. The second set of leaves are a good indication they might need a light dose of nitrogen fertilizer. You should always be extra gentle when adding fertilizer of any sort. This way you don't burn the plant's roots. We're going to jump ahead down the road. You should remind yourself is not to let fruit sit on a plant too long. Just keep harvesting though. Do not let anything ripen on the vine. I know people say, oh, it tastes better when it's ripened on the vine. When it's about to ripen on the vine, you should pull your vegetables and fruits off. What will happen is the plant gets nervous, it keeps producing more flowers, and it keeps producing more fruit all throughout the year, extending your growing season. The third tip is succession planting. So succession planting. 2 weeks later, your plants will grow. They'll get ready to come out after the frost. You'll put them in, and then you'll have your seed trays empty. And then you can restock those up with an inert medium such as peat moss. Plant your seeds in there, and then for those 2 weeks that they're growing, you'll be able to put those out in the garden, especially if you want a harvest all throughout the season. Again, it depends on your zone. This morning I was out watering the garden, making sure that the hay that we put on top of those rows were still there, keeping an eye on the chickens, making sure they didn't scratch it off. So what we're going to have to do is get protection set in place for animals and bugs. So two things. We're going to need some plastic netting such as this, and then we're going to need some shade cloth. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe and smash that like button for me, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.